For the first time in her life, a man was treating her like she was worth something beyond her body. Accra didn't touch him inappropriately. He never suggested going to a hotel room. He just talked to her like she was a human being with a mind and a heart. When James went back to Kumasi, Juliet thought that would be the end. Rich men did not really care about street girls like her. But James called her the next day and the day after that, and every day for the next 2 months, they would talk on the phone for hours. James told her of his day. Juliet found herself telling him things she had never told anyone. One day, James said something that shocked her. "Juliet, I want to help you change your life. I know the kind of life you are living. You don't have to explain it to me, but I believe you deserve better. I believe you can be more than what life has forced you to become." Juliet cried that night. Nobody had ever believed in her before. James started sending her money every month, not for her body, but just to help her. He told her she should stop doing the things she was doing on the streets. He said he would support her while she figured out what she wanted to do with her life. At first, Julia did not believe it would last, but month after month, James kept his word. He sent money, he called every day, he visited Accra once a month to see her. Slowly, Juliet started to change. She stopped going out with different men. She stopped smoking. She started dressing more modestly. She used the money James sent her to rent a better room and buy better clothes. The people in Accra noticed the change, but they did not know what to make of it. They thought maybe Juliet had found one rich man to sponsor her instead of many men. They did not know the truth. After 6 months of friendship, James came to Accra and took Juliet to a quiet restaurant. "Juliet," he said, holding her hands across the table. "These past months, getting to know you has been the best thing in my life. I know your past. I know the life you lived, but I also know your heart. I know the person you really are inside, and I have fallen in love with that person." Juliet could not believe what she was hearing. "I want to marry you," James said. "I want you to be my wife. I want to give you the life you deserve, the life you should have had if the world had been fair to you." Tears poured down Juliet's face. "James, you don't know everything about me. I have done terrible things. I have been with so many men I cannot even count. I have no education. I have nothing to offer you. Your family will never accept me. People will laugh at you for marrying someone like me." "I don't care what people think," James said firmly. "I care about you. Your past does not define you. What defines you is who you choose to be from today forward. And I choose to spend my life with you, if you will have me." Juliet said yes through her tears. When news spread through Accra that Juliet was getting married, and not just to any man, but to a rich businessman from Kumasi, the whole city was shocked. Mrs. Akoto had the news at the market and nearly dropped her bag. "Juliet? That street girl? Getting married? Impossible!" Mrs. Ofosu could not believe it. What kind of man would marry someone like that? He must not know about her past. Auntie Lamisi was confused. "But how? My daughter Matilda is educated, has a degree in nursing, and she's still looking for a husband. How can Juliet, who did not even finish primary school, find a husband before her?" The women gathered at the market and talked about nothing else for days. Some said James must be under a spell. Some said Juliet must have used juju, African magic, to trap him. Some said the marriage would not last because it was not built on a good foundation. But nobody could deny what they saw with their own eyes. James came to Accra with his friends and did a proper introduction. He paid Juliet's bride price even though she had no family to receive it. The money went to Auntie Mercy, who had been kind to Juliet over the years, to hold for her. James held a small but beautiful wedding at a church in Accra. He invited everyone, even those who had mocked Juliet. He wanted the whole city to see that he was proud to marry her. On the wedding day, Juliet looked like a queen. She wore a beautiful white wedding dress. Her makeup was done perfectly, not the harsh makeup from her street days, but gentle makeup that showed her natural beauty. Her hair was styled elegantly. When she walked into the church, people whispered. Some whispered because they still judged her, but many whispered because they could not believe the transformation. This was not the same rough street girl they knew. This was a woman who glowed with happiness and hope. James stood at the altar waiting for her, and the love in his eyes was clear for everyone to see. The pastor who married them gave a sermon about mercy, about second chances, about how God's grace can change any life. Some people in the congregation felt uncomfortable because the sermon seemed to be directed at them and their judgmental hearts. When the pastor said, "You may kiss your bride," James kissed Juliet. The whole church erupted in applause. Even some of the women who had mocked Juliet found themselves clapping, moved by the beautiful ceremony. After the wedding, Juliet moved to Kumasi with her husband. She started a new life in a big, beautiful house with a man who loved her truly. Juliet enrolled in adult education classes so she could learn to read and write better. Juliet discovered that she was still intelligent, just like her teachers had said when she was a child. She learned quickly. James also set up a small business for her, a boutique where she sold women's clothes. Juliet worked hard at the business. She remembered what it felt like to have nothing, so she appreciated everything she had. Meanwhile, back in Accra, life was not going as planned for many of the girls who thought they were better than Juliet. Amanda, Mrs. Ofusu's daughter, who studied accounting, graduated with good grades, but she could not find a job. The economy was bad. Every company wanted someone with experience. But how could she get experience if no one would hire her? She stayed at home for 4 years after graduation, sending applications everywhere and getting rejection letters. She was now 30 years old, still unemployed, still living with her parents, and still single. The men she met wanted to sleep with her without commitment. The good men were already taken. Her mother, Mrs. Ofusu, who used Juliet as a bad example, now cried every night, wondering why her educated, prayerful, well-behaved daughter could not find a husband. Many other girls who graduated with degrees in various fields faced similar problems. No jobs, or jobs with salaries too small to live on. No husbands, or men who just wanted to use them without marrying them. The irony was not lost on the people of Accra. The girl everyone said would amount to nothing was now living in a big house in Kumasi, married to a man who loved and provided for her. The girls everyone said would be successful were struggling, still single, still searching for the life they thought education would automatically give them. Mrs. Ofosu and some of the other women who had judged Juliet harshly began to feel ashamed. They realized they had been cruel to a girl who was already suffering. They remembered all the times they had mocked her, laughed at her, and used her as a bad example to their children. One day, Mrs. Ofosu was at the market and saw Kwame, who had news about Juliet. "She came to visit last week," she said, smiling. "She brought me gifts and gave me money to thank me for being kind to her over the years. You should see her now. She's so happy, so different. Her husband treats her like a princess." Mrs. Ofosu felt a pain in her chest. She remembered how she had treated Juliet. She went home that day and thought deeply about her life. That evening, she sat down with her daughter Amanda. "I'm sorry," Mrs. Ofosu said. "Sorry for what, Mommy?" Amanda asked, confused. "I taught you to look down on others. I taught you to feel you were better than people like Juliet because you went to school. But education without compassion is useless. Having a degree without having a kind heart means nothing. Mrs. Ofosu continued. I am not saying that education is bad. Education is good and important, but I taught you the wrong lesson. I taught you to judge others by their circumstances instead of seeing them as human beings. And now you are struggling, not because of any curse, but because life is just difficult for everyone. Amanda listened to her mother and cried. She realized that she had wasted so much energy feeling superior to people like Juliet instead of focusing on being a good person herself. Similar conversations were happening in other homes across Accra. Parents who had used Juliet as a negative example were now using her a different kind of example, an example that life is unpredictable, that God's mercy is available to everyone, and that we should never write off any human being as useless. 2 years after her wedding, Juliet returned to Accra for a visit, but she was not alone. She came with an NGO, and they brought something special to the city. They opened a free vocational training center for young girls who had dropped out of school. The center taught skills like sewing, hairdressing, catering, and computer basics. It was Juliet's way of giving back. I know what it feels like to have no one and nothing, Juliet told the first group of girls who enrolled. I know what it feels like when the world calls you useless. But I want you to know that your past does not determine your future. You can still become something. You can still build a good life. Many of the girls who came to the center were living the same kind of life Juliet had lived. Some were on the streets, some were doing bad things to survive. But Juliet did not judge them. She helped them. The women of Accra who had once mocked Juliet now looked at her with respect. Some came to apologize for how they had treated her. Juliet forgave them all. Mrs. Ofosu brought Amanda to the center. Can you teach her something? She asked Juliet humbly. She has a degree but no job. Maybe she can learn a skill while waiting for employment. Juliet welcomed Amanda warmly, without any bitterness for how Amanda had once looked down on her. Auntie Lamisi also brought Matilda to meet Juliet. I was wrong about you, she said simply. I used you as a bad example to my daughter, but you have become a good example instead. Juliet smiled. Life taught me that there is no such thing as a useless person. There are only people who have not yet found their purpose or who have not yet met the right opportunity. Juliet's story spread beyond Accra. It became a story that mothers told their daughters, not as a warning, but as a lesson about several things. First, that we should never judge people by their circumstances. We don't know what pain has driven them to where they are. Juliet was not a bad person. She was a hot person trying to survive. Second, that life does not always go according to our plans. Education is good and important, but having a certificate does not guarantee success, and not having a certificate does not mean someone is doomed to failure. Third, that true love looks at the heart, not the past. James could have chosen any woman. He was rich and could have married someone from a wealthy, educated family. But he chose Juliet because he saw who she really was inside. Fourth, that change is possible for anyone. Juliet went from being a street girl to becoming a respected businesswoman and a wife. She proved that people can transform if given a chance and support. Finally, that we should help those who are down instead of mocking them. If the women of Accra had shown Juliet kindness when she was struggling, maybe she would not have suffered for so long. But even in the absence of their kindness, God had a plan for her life. Today, Juliet and James have 2 children, 2 girls. They live a good life in Kumasi. Juliet's boutique business has grown. She now has 3 shops in different parts of Kumasi. The vocational training center in Accra is still running, helping dozens of girls every year. Some of those girls have gone on to start their own businesses. Some have found good husbands. Some have even gone back to school to continue their education. Amanda eventually found a job and is doing well. She learned humility from her struggles and became a better person for it. She is grateful for the lesson life taught her. Matilda is also a nurse at the hospital. She is still single, but she has stopped worrying about it. She learned that a woman's value is not determined by having a husband. She is happy with her life and trusts that if marriage is meant for her, it will come at the right time.
As for the women who judged Juliet, most of them learned to be more compassionate. They learned that life is a great teacher, and it often teaches through irony. They learned to keep their mouths closed instead of mocking others, because no one knows what tomorrow will bring. And Juliet, she never forgot where she came from. Every time she looks at her children, her husband, and her comfortable life, she remembers the girl who slept in a small room behind Auntie Mercy's shop. She remembers the hunger, the mockery, and the pain. But she also remembers that Mercy found her, love found her, hope found her, and she lives every day grateful for the second chance that life gave her. This is the story of Juliet, the girl everyone called useless, who became useful in ways no one expected. It is a story that reminds us that in life, no condition is permanent. The person you look down on today may be the one you look up to tomorrow. It is a story that tells us to be kind to everyone, because everyone is fighting a battle we know nothing about. And most importantly, it is a story that proves God's timing is perfect, even when it seems to make no sense to us. Thank you for watching this touching story. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so you never miss another inspiring story. Stay kind and see you in the next story.